come down, I could say, no?
Yes, I tell you.
It's shocking and shocking. But
I,
our PM said something when Mick's come on up on the camera, right?
yes.
Yeah. Um, our PM said some stuff in the last meeting. It was shocking.
Hmm.
I mean, the PM confessed that he's not the correct man for the job,
I wouldn't doubt that.
It was the most ineffective speech he has ever made. He had
Hmm.
nothing to say.
Hmm.
Honestly, he had nothing to say, and that's just the truth, right?
Yeah.
And that's so sad. In that, um, he said, right? Um, he said that he been trying, he been trying for 7 years. He didn't say he was trying, but he said the opposition is never supporting him. Remember he said that?
Yes, he said that.
Time is out of control.
Hmm.
Anytime they go to parliament, they don't get the support. Now tell me something. Our listeners to listen to this, If after 7 years you are claiming, and that is not true, a
Hmm.
good journalist should come up and show how many times the opposition supported them. The
Yes,
opposition role is not to support what you bring.
that's right.
Their role is if they're in agreement with what they bring, they support it.
That's
Or
right.
they make contributions to have it refined and then they support it,
Hmm.
subject to the refining of the bill.
Yes.
And many times when they refined it, they supported it. A
Hmm.
good journalist should go and pick up all the time over the last 7 years how many times the opposition supported them and publish it.
Hmm.
So when they say that to the public, they're being dishonest. They're being dishonest.
Hmm.
The opposition supported them on factor. They
Yeah.
supported them a couple of times on the bail bill.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And a number of other matters. So to say that they never support them, dishonest. I don't
Yeah.
repeat that.
Yes.
That is dishonest. That is being dishonest to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And
Hmm.
that ought not to happen. But let's go with what he said. He said they never support. They don't ever get the support. Not in the first year you as a leader, because I say this, everybody in Parliament is a leader,
Hmm.
because each of them is leading a constituency of people.
That's right.
So they are all leaders. There's one or two things with this PM and his policy and modus operandi. One, I don't believe what they carry to Parliament, he believes in it. I don't believe in that.
Hmm.
Because if he did, he would fuss in a way to get it passed
Yes.
so he could do the work for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, every time you carry a bill to Parliament, you take a platform and you cuss with the opposition.
Hmm.
You understand that? Which means you're setting the stage to not get it passed.
Hmm.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Why you would want to get something passed about it? Because the people who are supposed to give you the support and
Yes.
before you go to them, and you know when you go to them thereafter, they will say no.
Hmm.
There's a strategy. So
Yeah.
here what I think, what I've been trying to figure out the pattern about what has been transpiring, right?
Hmm.
The PM, I believe, believes they don't have any solutions for this country. And they're not about solutions for the country. All they want to do is make the citizens believe that they are doing something about anything that is affecting them at any given time in this country. So crime, they had crime talks right away. Now, by having the crime talks, it's to convey to the citizens that they're doing something about it. But the problem remained there. You saw students lying down in a classroom, right?
Yeah.
Shoot out.
Yeah.
Minister National Security and they went and visit. They said the school will reopen on Monday. Where visit for? That's to convey that something is being done. Your visit would stop what happened
I
from
tell.
happening again.
Hmm.
But they make sure and got that published. They visited the school today and go reopen on Monday. All they did was tell the people, go back out and we hope that don't happen again. But
That's right.
they visited to convey the impression that we're doing something about it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But nothing has ever been done about anything else. Everything remains there unattended, unresolved. No solution is being applied to any matter at all. And that is terrible. So their strategy is just look at this. The four decent people drowned somewhere down on the southern side.
Yeah.
They set up a committee first, remember?
Yes.
To kill it off. That didn't work. He pulled it back and say commission inquiry.
Yeah.
What went on the commission inquiry? Nothing has changed.
That has
Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
It's just to make people feel something is being done about it. They wanted to shut down the metal dealers because some people complain that the people here, they have friends who they prefer to collect all the metal. They lie and say the thief the gate.
Yeah.
I came up to the airport and talked to people who said no gate was stolen. They don't know what gate they're talking about.
Right.
But again, that was to convey an impression that they did something about what people say. You know?
Yeah.
So it's all about perception. Make people feel we're doing something, but they're not doing anything about anything. Look at the Forex. Since 2015, they say they would have improved the Forex situation. Has it been improved? No. It's just to make people feel they were trying to do something about it. But nothing changed. Daddy man?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Forex situation today is just as bad as it was in 2015 or worse.
Yes. Yes, for real.
Nothing changed. The same people who are getting all the big set of money in Forex, they're the same one they alone getting.
Yeah, they're still getting
Starbucks, rituals, the cars, this, that, all those other big dealers, they're the ones getting. Nothing for the small man. Who's been affected before? The small man.
Yeah.
They're bringing clothes to sell in Chaguanas on the drag mall in town. You're out of business. And that's how it was in 2015 and that's how it is in 2022. Nothing improved. Nothing improved. They came in and they said they will fix the economy. Remember that?
Yeah.
I told you all, you cannot fix an economy. An economy is a living thing. It's alive.
Yeah.
It's going to fluctuate with other global economic activities. So they'll be going up and down, contracting, growing. That's how it'll be going forward. But they come to fix it. You know what the easy word fix? Because they know they cannot fix it, but that is to make you feel they're doing something that is so peculiar in nature that it is absorbing all the time they have. But they're not about fixing it. And if they were, we would have made some gains by now. No such thing has happened. No such thing has happened. So it's a whole game of impression just to make people feel something is happening. So I'm going back to the PM. I gave all those examples to show they don't really want to solve anything.
Exactly.
So when they go to the opposition after they cuss them, they know the opposition, if it's just for pride's sake, they won't support it.
That's right.
They won't. And then when they do support it, they run outside to tell people, well, we can't do nothing because we went to support and they didn't do it. We accepted that in 2015. We accepted some of that in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You will come and tell me in 2022, you're telling us the same thing?
Yeah.
So who's the problem?
I tell you.
Good leaders will have the skill to persuade people. You want to tell me you can't get nobody to vote with you, taking what he says correct, which it's not. For 7 years, you can't get people to join with you, and you don't see yourself as a problem. A prime minister ought to be persuasive.
Exactly.
In a basic way, a prime minister ought to be able to reach over the aisle and get 1, 2, or 4 persons, if not all of them, to vote with him. If not all the time, and it will never be all the time, but as often as it is required for bigger matters.
That's right.
And therefore it means reaching out, having conversations, having joint meetings. When you take platform and tell the people all manner of things about Miss Howard Cat, he said it again last night or night before, you know.
Yes.
You know, about the Parliament was behaving like Miss Howard Cat.
You can imagine that.
How Miss Howard Cat does behave. to use a simile with the Parliament behaving like that cat.
I
How
tell
that cat does behave. That is the kind of foolishness that people listening to in this country every day. And he believed he sounded good. He believed he made sense. He believed people take away from that. I mean, it was hard for the guy to get a round of applause on there, you know. When I packed the place, these people get so fed up of hearing the same speeches. Nothing new, you know. He's still going back with Kamala, 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 Kamala. Kamala, after 7 years, according to this lady yesterday, could never be the problem now. He has to look at himself. The problem the people of Trinidad and Tobago face is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. He does not have the solutions. And it is as simple as that.
Yeah.
And he confessed that 2 nights ago by telling us the same thing, that he can't get support. So if they never support him for the next 3 years, we will go 10 years with him for him telling us he's not getting support. He can't be so foolish. Then you put somebody else to try to see if somebody else will get support.
That's right.
And that's why I go back to say, well, Karen does not have a seat in the house at this time. So I had to stay with my same order. Then step down and give it to Camille. Step down and give it to Penny. Or let the people support Karen so she could get in, and then we could see if we could call for somebody to step down to let her run in a by-election, and then he would step down, or he could step down and let her run in his seat. So that we could have a new direction, then you had two women who could talk and socialize and see if they could come and reach a convergence of the minds in terms of agreements on certain bills they would like to have passed.
Yeah.
In the interest and for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But you just want to keep on telling us what you can't get done and you still believe you're the best person to lead the country. You cannot be. You want people who could say we're going to get this done. Liz Truss came in, she said she'll do certain things. She made a good move, a big move that didn't work out. She said, well, okay, I'm not the woman for the job. You come telling us 7 years you can't get certain things done. If this was Liz Truss, she leave in 2015, you know. You are there 7 years later. You ain't get nothing done. You spend almost $500 billion between 2015 and now. The most amount of money and spent under any prime minister in the history of this country. You have nothing to show for it. Nothing has been accomplished. Nothing has been achieved. And you telling people the other night, you know, you expect to be the leader. What is the basis of that expectation? What is that expectation based on? For you to have such an expectation, you're also saying, well, I know I represented you all well, I did good things for the country. What did you do? What did you do that has helped you to form that expectation? It had to be based on something. You used to take the platform and at least give people some entertainment with some things that sound, you know, like they were plausible. It seems as though that has disappeared now. You can't even be accepted as humorous because you tried. There's a big pause and they talk about the parliament behaving like, and he didn't know what to say. And then it just built out. That's how it can. You know, it was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing display.
Yes, indeed it was.
It was an embarrassing display. And then you go tell the people, you expect to be the leader.
Yes.
You don't even have the decency in the context of saying you're requesting the people to put you back as a leader because perhaps ego, you feel your PM is so big now. Yeah. You can't even ask the small man for their vote. You are demanding it now.
Yes.
You expect to be the leader. Well, I hope the people heard that. Because now he's saying, I think and Paul, I'm instructing you to vote for me.
Yeah.
Not requesting a vote, and I'm instructing you to vote for me. All I do think, I think and Paul, and what he's given is nothing. What he's given and zero will turn out to be the same whenever you process it out. The calculation will bring it to the same amount, zero. So this is hugely disturbing, and there are many angles of that speech. I will break down as we go about to show everybody how the speech was baseless, it was hollow, it had major gaps, It did not make sense. And he had nothing to say to people of Trinidad and Tobago. He went all over the world, right? Things, the money we have now, things from just so it had to do with what he did. When any prime minister could have done that, he didn't tell him about the calculation. He told him he went here, he went there, all over the world. Part of all over the world he went is when he went and calculated the gas price. What happened? You remember that?
Yeah. I remember
But
that.
it's something I say. Yeah, it is shocking.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can take on a couple of calls before Mickela comes on there.
Okay, 222-8255, 612-8255, and our toll-free number 866-525-1099. Give us a call. You know, to me, like, it's a kind of dictatorial attitude now. Now that he hasn't got anything done, nothing that can of substance, because all I see them doing is knocking up community centers and walk over here and walk over there. And the kind of monies I am hearing for these walkovers and these community centers, it's appalling. So I think he knows exactly the mood of the people now, so he's beating up his chest now and acting like I am the boss. You know, and what I say goes. You know, when you think about the flurry of that kind of gestures that we've been experiencing with nothing happening, you know, and we just have to be waiting. This road paving company, how come we're not hearing anything about that now? The roads are very, very deplorable now. This morning I went down to Palaseco, and just from Oropush Junction, where the Mosquito Creek joins the road there, from there to Avocat, my God, I didn't know I would have even reached Avocat. So I was saying, how the people inside are dealing with this road? It's worse than the road to go Labrie. The Bishop is here. Bishop, how are you doing?
A pleasant evening, my brothers. Dr. Noray.
Good day, Bishop. Good day.
Good day. You know, since this race have started, I haven't called your station. I was trying to comply with the code of conduct. But you don't want to say things that will create any sort of a impression that you are attacking the party.
Mm-hmm.
But when I listened to the Prime Minister on what night it was, Tuesday night, I kind of say, well, but this is something right. You are attacking a member of your party. Call them all kind of names. You have the vice woman chairman, but Camille, saying you know what she wants to see, you know how she behaves on a platform, and you call that politicking. So you on a party forum discussing government matters and making accusations against people, but questions to answer about the Coleman report. And I said to myself, but why is the Prime Minister having a conversation with the DPP? I mean, why is he discussing a matter which he thinks is a criminal matter against people who have to answer questions? And going to the DPP to discuss it? It only tells me that it's the same thing was done with Gary Griffith's matter. It's the same thing that was done with the Central Bank governor. It's the same thing that was done with the woman at the Board of Inland Revenue. It's the same thing that he have done with Nelson matter. It's the same thing he have done with his partner who misappropriate or have a problem with or allegations were made against him stealing oil. It's the same problem. You have ministers in your cabinet that is before the court on corruption charges. And you were aware that before the contested election. You have ministers in your government who recuse themselves over 100 times from cabinet because whatever cabinet is discussing was in their best interest. You have ministers of government who is owning agency properties when a national country is only allowed to own one, but he bought 4. So you have ministers in your cabinet. You have Darius Smith matter. You have ministers in your cabinet that needs to answer questions. So when you have the Coleman report, and because the candidate because the person whose name in that report is a candidate who's giving you a fight for your life. You want to hold up this report now to the country and say, she has questions to answer, she wants to be political leader of the PLM, but she has questions to answer, and you start your baccalaureate. I mean, is this a democratic country? Another issue is that you could imagine you have election for 9 days, and on the second, and on all the days of election, they are going to wish away the ballot boxes to a secret location where nobody could follow the vehicle, or nobody would know. Only them would know where the ballots are and where the votes are. They want us to trust them to do that. They want us to trust them to do that. But we have seen over the period of time all the matters. Look at the matter with ACC. 670 million you have to give to the Chinese, and nobody knew anything. And they want us to trust them that they're going to secure the ballots after we vote on the 26th and the 27th, and nothing is going to go wrong. Well, here's something. That and a white jackass they will see. That and a white donkey, the internal election would not happen. They have to understand this. And then you jump in and say, well, everything now people will go to court. Well, here's something. Either we take it over the bull pen, or we go before a judge as a candidate. Look, as a candidate in the internal election, I have not gotten a list of electors, members of the PNM. When you fill out an application form to join the PNM, what you get? You fill out your name, your address, your telephone number, place of employment, even your religion and all, even your religious position, your level of education. I got a membership list. All it has on it is where the person lives and their party branch number. Not even the electoral number. And you expect me now to canvass with that. So I like to win an internal election. So you have put me at a disadvantage. Further to the disadvantage and unfairness of it, you're also telling me now that when I vote, people vote for me. They won't come until the 4th of December, and you're going to hide away the ballot boxes when nobody can follow you with the ballot boxes. I say, well, look, they need to understand that we are educated, My education is technical, but I'm not stupid administratively. And what they're doing is taking over the rights of the people in a democratic country. They're not practicing the democracy that we have practiced for decades. Dr. Williams and George Weeks and the others who fought for us to have this franchise for free and fair elections, they are taking that away from us. If they do it to the party, what they're going to do to the country. I won't be able to understand this, Don't get up tomorrow morning and when he hit the country in the shot, or they say, well, we didn't know he was that, and they only want to fight and make noise and march. Look at the behavior of the man right now. Another burning problem I have, Dr. Noray. I am living in Cashew Gardens, and for the past 18 years, I met some buildings. I have stayed in my office and watched men on top of the roof, vandalizing them, stealing, but they galvanized some of the roof. I saw my office and watched that. No. Whenever the opposition got into power, you know what they did? Houses that they didn't build, they gave it to their what? Supporters. We in the PNM, building houses, having it vandalized, having them there for, this contractor, this project, more than 20 years, and your party branches all over the country, members, need houses. Give it to them. The very first housing project done in this country by NHE was a shelter project that was given to party group number 16, Winston Mahabir Street, 32 men. They built their houses. They find money to see about their houses. They had the material. Some brought in the small contractors. My father got sick and I worked on that project. I was about 7, 8 years old, 9 years old. And I worked 2 hours an evening. So my father could get us out because every person who got a house had to go and work at least a certain amount of hours every day. Why not give those houses? You have about 30,000 units, land, abandoned buildings, whatever. Give it to your party branch, workers, party group members who in need, who you never done nothing for. Right foot, left foot, something to drink, a double, eat something. After election, they can't talk to you. Give it to them. Give them something. At least they've been putting you in power for decades. And they got absolutely nothing from you. Give them something now. Sure, you really love them. Sure, you have a care for them. You say, PNM care for you? Show that care for your party group right now. You have over 1,007 party groups in this country. People who work hard and put you in power decades after decades. Help them. Give them an asset. Give them a home. Because if the US come in the past and Parliament, the way we're going, and we lose this election, they're going to give those units to who? Their supporters. When will the PNM learn some sense? But if the leadership is bad, what do we expect?
I tell you.
What do we expect? When I say this, we are losing our democracy because you're violating the Constitution. The People's Act doesn't mean nothing to you. There's no election process. You have no notification from the committee. I called the committee secretary this morning and she's not in office. They're not there. I went to the office sometime. They're ready yet. They don't get this yet. That's the way till the committee to meet. So what? You have an internal election that you know you have to have.
That's right.
And you didn't prepare for it. That at this point in time, you can notify candidates. What is the processes of the election? What is the processes of the election? Where are the polling stations? Where will these polling stations be? What are the hours of polling? You're changing everything. So the Act of 51 becomes null and void. And you have an election officer who is sitting on the present team, not saying a word. As if you don't know the rules of election. If you don't know the rules of election, why are you election officer? You don't know the rules of election? You don't know it's supposed to be fair? And the rules are all enshrined in the laws of the land? The same rules that EBC has are the same rules for any election in the country. That is the norm. How are you changing it? Why are you changing it? Because you want to remain in office doing absolutely nothing for this country. You can't deal with crime. If you couldn't deal with terrorism, you shut it down. You can't deal with environment, you shut down that. You shooting by a school, you shut down that. Everything that you can't manage, you just shut down. That is the kind of leadership we have in this country. My brother?
Yes.
They have a fight.
Yeah, I know.
They are not going to give up. And I don't make up my mind already, you know. I have court clothes. You have to understand. I, Bishop Philip, have court clothes. So when he come out singing, somebody touch me, somebody, when you hear he play that music and he come on the rostrum to deliver a message to the people, and you're saying, somebody touch you, somebody touch my soul. You're a liar, my brother. You're a liar, my brother. If somebody touch your soul, give us fair, free and fair elections.
That's right.
If somebody has touched your soul, give us free and fair elections. My God said, who wants to hear? Who wants to forbear as a matter for them? You are taking away our rights, our democratic rights as a people. I have not stand by as a priest and allow that to happen. If I have to walk the streets in the road, whatever I have to do, we will not allow Dr. Rowley to do that to our people. Nowhere as long as I am alive. God bless.
Thank you, Bishop. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Bishop. Thank you, Bishop.
Kola, are you there?
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, how are you guys?
I'm okay, brother.
Okay. Professor Noray, this is Pythagoras. Trust you guys are
Yeah, yeah. Good day, good day.
good. You know, I've been listening to all the comments and all the programming, and you know, I'll be honest. I know I'm not in the country, but I don't see Dr. Rowley being replaced. Just like the opposition leader, they have a way of corralling the tribe, and they don't move, they don't shift. You know, she got Miss Professor. She was re-elected as a leader of her party despite the many failings. I mean, how many elections she lost, and she's still the leader. So despite what the Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley, whatever his shortcomings are, it would be irrelevant. I don't see that changing, you know. And with regards to the people, I mean, I'm just so surprised because, look, many people from my listening to your program and many others, I understand, I gather, I think they believe, I believe that they are tired or they have a displeasure with the government not being effective. But their option is not to look at the opposition. I can't understand how short-sighted that could be. The opposition was there and they did similar or probably even worse because they lost after a few years. This guy won a second round for whatever reason, but, you know, people look at the opposition. And I think that's moving from the pot into the fire. You know, that should never be the people's option. Hey, look, I remember the last election over the years, there were at least, in general elections, there were as few as 5 major contenders outside. Well, you got to include the PNM and the UNC, but there were at least 5 major contenders, and as many as 15 others that people could have said, hey, you know, let's put one person here, let's put another person there. Look what in Israel, Mr. Netanyahu, he was able to, people didn't believe in his party collectively, but they got a group of them, and they're going to try them again, but they're willing to try something different. You know, that don't seem to be the thinking in front of that. You know, some of them I know in those parties are probably not worth their salt, but okay, that's how you decide. You listen to platforms and to speakers and to perspectives and come to a conclusion. You know, because here's the thing. You cannot solve a problem from the same consciousness that created it. So if you think the PNM is the problem and they created some of it, that's not the solution. And when the opposition was there, I'm sorry, it was the same situation. So, you know, the change must be embraced. And, you know, people got to drop the race talk. I've listened to other stations, but people are so much in their tent. They, you know, you cut them and they bleed UNC or they bleed PNM. And that's a sad thing because, you know, Richard and Daddy Mac, here in the U.S., I have friends from Jamaica, Chinese, Indians, Negroes. And the thing is, even Guyana, people, I have a lot of friends from those two. And when they're here, it's not Jamaicans or Guyanese. You know, we are from the Caribbean. And the thing, even though we're from other islands, we behave as one. There is little or no distrust. You got to trust somebody, and you trust people that come from a similar background because it's about changing. In here, at least in this country, you change mindsets, and you're looking for progression. Everyone, whatever island we're from, we're looking to make ourselves better in a collective sense. It's not me against you. In Trinidad, it's one island. The people there, and I'm part of that group, we should always be looking for progression. I cannot understand why, you know, people are so fearful. You know, the only fear that they should be mindful of is being in the exact same place year after year as they are today.
Yes.
You know, and I've heard 7 years, and as you said, Mr. Noray, how many trillions or how many millions, I should say, of dollars this gentleman has used, and yet still many people clamoring for water, for proper drainage. I heard the joke, if a bottle of water spill in Port of Spain, it will be flood. You know, I mean, It's so ridiculous. They're complaining about potholes. It's like, wow, unbelievable. I heard about the crime and CCTV, and I was saying to someone, they can't look at CCTV if they can't. That's 21st and 22nd century technology, and they can't even provide 19th century basic needs, water and proper drainage and roadways. So, the thing is, training's got to stop. They got to drop the baggage, I think.
Yeah.
They got to forget what hurt them, but they should never forget what it taught them. That's the difference. Listen to what these people did. Good God, man. Move away from this stupid thing about Indian and Negroes and UNC and CNN and look at trees. Look at Trinidad.
That's
My
right.
gosh.
That's right.
It's so sad. I mean, I know your next presenter is an option. Maybe you could look at her. Maybe you could look at Mr. What's his name? The former gentleman who was the police commissioner. And there are so many other people that are offering themselves and their services. I mean, look, if Mr. Scherer don't make the cut, they should look at doing something different. Walk away from PNM and provide an alternative.
Yep.
Don't provide a plaster. Provide an alternative. And look, until you see they stop this race talk and the PNM and the UNC, I got educated under things that Dr. Williams did, that I got a proper primary and secondary school education. And I came to this country and I've made something of myself in more ways than one. So I will never knock the PNM. I've never been there when the UNC came into power, so I can't speak ill of them, but I've read, I've heard, I've seen on the newspaper. So judging just from that, people have seen these shortcomings, but people say, well, if you're for the PNM, I'm for the UNC, or the PNM is this, or the UNC is that. Oh, gosh. Man, it should be Trinidad is here, and this is where we want to go. Let's do what it takes to get us there. I don't know, man. This is just an outsider looking in and hearing. I have no dog in the race, in the fight, or whatever you want to call it. I just simply looking at how sad the country has gone and gotten, and how divided it has become. And you're right, for a prime minister to make stupid comments like that, and even for the opposition leader to say it's not about country, it's about party, that is just as bad. People need to take off these stupid glasses and look at these idiots and stay away from them. Gosh, man. I look, I'm enjoying your program. Thank you for the people you have on, the gentleman yesterday, Mr. Scherer, whenever Miss Panday comes on. Great show. Great stuff. Thank you. I just wanted to give my 2 cents here because, PNM and UNC, if people haven't seen it, they are not the solution to the future of Trinidad and Tobago.
I tell you, my brother. Thanks for your contribution, sir. Yes, valid
All right, you take care. You guys take it easy. And I enjoy your show, Mr. Noray. Thank you, sir. Daddy Mac,
yes,
I love your calypsos, man. I love the fact that the music.
Thank you as well.
And I love that. You are unique in the stuff that when you play them, I got to go look for them on YouTube so I can put it on my phone because I didn't hear that one before. And kudos to you for that, man, because I try to be quite versatile in my music. Yes. You take it to a level that I haven't reached yet, and my hat is off to you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother.
All right.
You be
Take
safe.
it easy.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Hello?
Mr. Mark.
Hey, how you going, my brother?
Mr. Noray somewhere around the place there.
Yes, he's right.
Yes. Hello.
I say I'm going to try and see if I have any call-ins this evening. Long time I talk to her.
It's been a while since we've taken calls.
This program every evening, Friday too.
Yeah.
The budget we talk about nothing, but I know I have a paintbrush in one hand here, so I'm talking on my cordless here.
All right.
So this is already.
We're talking about the governance and where we're going and how they're operating.
Just now you got money in your hand and you can't buy nothing to eat. I know that for sure. So every month you go in negotiate, then going up by $5, $10, as we already have inflation, sure you will, and even recently in Great Britain they announced that today. Right? But this is ridiculous now.
Yes, It's gone past
So now buy
ridiculous.
$10 and then one time in the grocery, one time, you know.
Yes. I've seen that myself.
Yeah, everybody's saying that. When mountain to buy the groceries.
Yeah.
It's $10, $15, $8. And nobody's saying that. Even tell you, hey, give for apple, beef for bat, nothing.
No, they're trying to create a different kind of a narrative that will take us away from that.
Narrative, we think hungriness has disappeared.
Oh.
Hungry belly does fly away like zucchini any night or something. I may understand that. And it's something about it when you can't afford the healthy thing, you go buy the unhealthy thing and then more sickness, more
problems,
illness, more chronic diseases, more everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how the diesel treating you?
Boy, well, I don't use diesel. No. I try to use super on my car. It's giving me a lot of problems, so I have to use premium.
Oh, you sorry, yours. A van or some 4x4 vehicle or something or no?
No, Richard has that.
Oh, Richard had that?
Yeah.
He up in the sky? Okay,
Yeah.
right. He has climbing the car.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right. Because we spoke since the budget.
Yes.
And the price of everything increased one time.
Yes.
And you have a long journey. You have a long journey from Tong to Dong Saudi.
I tell you, I feel it immensely.
You understand? I know somebody that working for a company, but them just do them in the construction sector.
Right. Speaking of construction, you just mentioned the kind of hike in prices at the supermarkets and groceries and stuff at the marketplace. When last have you been to the hardwares? Jesus Lord. Well, those things are like rockets. They're blasting through space now. They're not hitting the roof anymore. The prices are in space now.
You also buying building materials.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm buying building materials a long time. And one of my little paint I'm using here right now in one hand, I'm a cordless in the next talking to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And but I know I understand where you're coming from because ever so often I just make a phone call and price of metal.
Yes, steel,
yeah.
And purlins and things. Just now, people have to go back to cutting down trees to build houses.
Not to buy for purlin now, right?
Well, it depends.
Something.
It used to be, I remember buying purlins when I was doing some roof work and it was $90-something a light.
$99, $95, but I purchased. And when I was looking for purlin and looking for sheet metal.
Yes.
And that was 10 years ago.
Right. And well, I mean that 10 years price stayed up to like just before the COVID came in, like end of 2019.
If it's anything around 125 or 120 or something.
It's 200 and change for one of that.
Yeah, I see that. I read it in a newspaper. I said, no, that can't be 2 by 4. That'll be 3 by 4.
Police, you think it easy? So soon come, people have to start cutting down tree limbs now. They have to cut down tree limbs now and build your house.
Well, the man say use the coal pot, you know, so.
Yeah, and ride a bike.
Like if coal's cheap, you know, try bag of coal? Lord.
You know what it would take for me to ride a bike from south to Port of Spain?
What going on with the creek, boy?
Well, nothing has changed.
The crack cover up?
No. It's just as it was when it crumbled. You know, and
they got preliminary inquiry, the man say we got preliminary report, the boss and
they always say things to pull wool across people's eyes. Let me tell you something about the creek that is the most sad. Now, during the pandemic, it gave way to a free flow of traffic. You see, since they reopened school and things, partner, traffic builds up. Well, I come from Labre. So the roads are so bad at the Poindor Junction in Labre and towards Rosilac and thing. Right on the Poindor Junction, it will take you about 10 minutes to cross the junction. When you get to Dow Village in South Urpuch, you're
dodging potholes, sir?
Yeah, you're dodging big potholes that can fit cars. When you're approaching South Urpuch, you're not in Urpuch per se, you're South Urpuch, Dow Village to be exact. The connecting area where Faizabad, those that use the extension of the new highway from Grand Trace and Rosilac, and the people who are using the main road along the same area with Dow and Aripero and thing. there's a traffic pileup that begins at least 2 miles away from the Oropouche Junction. So when I come to San Fernando in the morning, I might leave Labrador about 7 o'clock. I might get to that area in Dow Village by, let's say, 20 past 7. 8 o'clock could meet you trying to reach that Oropouche Junction. When you leave there now and you're going towards San Fernando, where Annan has his big supermarket establishment there. You see that area? It takes you more than half an hour from there to get onto the single lane where they have the bacchanal with the fallen part of the creek and the mangrove and thing. You know that area there?
Oh, I could
so it takes you, what's that? It takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to Gulf City. When you get to Gulf City, the traffic builds up from Bamboo Junction to the Gulf View, the Gulf City traffic lights. And then, if you go through Gulf City Link Road,
helicopter?
well, you're not just half, I don't know at all. So I will go around the crossing to come across the Aubrey Jeffers Highway there. And partner, I tell you, it takes about 2 hours. 2 hours from Labrador to San Fernando every morning. I don't know how some people deal with their bosses and late comings, or if the people who have to reach for 8 leave Labrador and Point Fountain 4. You understand what I'm saying? You have to do that, otherwise you're late for work, you can lose your job.
Yeah, I understand.
So nothing is happening there. I said a old talk, I said a wool pulling across people's eyes.
I hear the boss, the finance man, I read a snippet in our paper, said the finance minister in front of one of them, the PNM meeting, telling Farris go and do his job. To fix the road, the 200 million.
Yeah.
For the side road and them, not the main road, obviously, to go and do the job. But the truth is that I think if I converse that with you and Mr. Noray, it'd be important bitumen. I don't know if the quality of bitumen, because I see in repairs done the potholes and the pothole just washing away.
Yes, I tell you, it's not the
real
bitumen.
Nothing. So it's I do over and I do over and I do over.
Yes, there's not real bitumen. That bitumen, I told you, one of these the road building contractors, they said is a thing they call colas or coilas or however it is.
So how we building road then? If you do have the bitumen.
Well, the bitumen
them go fall apart as you build the road and patch it and thing.
Yeah.
Or you pave a whole stretch. That would just crumble.
Well, it crumbles and it breaks out like blocks of ice. It don't break out like
it breaks out like if you crush up a Oreo cookie.
Yes.
That's how it breaking up. Yeah. That's so I see it.
I tell you, and that has a lot of tire shops making money, mechanics who are doing suspension work. Yeah.
And then the substandard quality of parts you get into, I understand that very well.
Yes. Substandard and high prices.
Mr. Noray
he's right here listening.
Well, I happened to listen to the program when Mr. Noray the COVID-19 and how we rating in this part of the hemisphere, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to go on coronavirus statistics world meter, COVID live, right? That exists since COVID around.
Yeah.
I decided to click on North America.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And United States of America is first when it comes to per 1 million, when you look at the death toll, per 1 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
And second is Trinidad and Tobago. Right? Trinidad and Tobago second highest death toll per 1 million in North America, in the North American region. First is the United States.
Yeah.
Jamaica was a population of 2.9 million. 91,263 had a death toll of 3,320. Haiti, population is 11.7 million. That death toll is 857. El Salvador population 6.5 million.
Yeah.
And change. 6.5 million.
Yes.
I like 5 at Trinidad inside you, 4 at Trinidad.
5 or 2.
That toll is 4,230. Dominican Republic 11.1 million. That toll 4,300 and we are 1.64 and we 43 or something now.
Yeah.
And people get national award running for that.
This is Trinidad.
I know, and I know last admin, I believe, Mr. Visesa tried to give, sorry, let me rephrase that phrase. Offered, I think, the RTT to Mr. Panday, and he turned it down and things. So then fellows who get RTT and them can say, well, boss, I really and truly do deserve this thing, you know. I humbly decline. Because I believe we could have done better. You had to pay, the Pana Kenny G again this Christmas. What would you win?
Yeah.
And then they come and tell you now, if you're watching the EU Parliament doing trial interrogation and them fellas and them of the. And they say, no, we never tell all of this thing will stop the spread, you know. We never tell all of that. You know, it was a very quickly adequate the vaccine, and therefore we couldn't test it and so forth. And this thing does stop the transmission of this disease.
No way.
So this whole safe zone creation by the cabinet at Trinidad and Tobago, because the crew that get the award say that was a creation by the cabinet, and all them did is give guidelines by which the safe zones could operate.
Yeah.
Right? So the cabinet, which is the politicians, decide to pay doctor and tell me, hey, do this, or I can't go in here, and do this, I can't go in there, and people who decide to do this and they go in there, they still get sick, thinking they're fully protected. Because the mask off and everything, and in close quarters, air conditioned, drinking, whining, all kind of thing.
Yeah.
You understand? So a politician tell you, you are good, you're safe inside. I look the Prime Minister say he afraid to get COVID the third time, he ain't jumping up in no mask.
He ain't going to Tobago and jump up in no carnival. He afraid to get it. How they get that? I mean,
So you can't play mask next year then? I asked him, I know you like to play Isela.
Yes.
Paula?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're launching Carnival on Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
Yeah, so you're not playing no mask next year then?
Brother, old talk.
It's only old talk. Are you taking calls till 6 or somebody coming in just now?
Are we going till 6?
Okay, right, well. So what thing happens in that time? Unfortunately, the budgets are a total mess.
I tell you.
Yeah, son.
A lot of things are mess.
And I think the latest incentive is to we to buy the camera and you'll get some tax up. The Prime Minister say, maybe sending me documents. So you could take 5 years to get the tax, 5 years and 6 years to get back the refund. Because I go in this place.
Well, the amount of things they keep saying, and I'm not seeing anything coming to fruition.
But I know the public are beginning next year. And if the Prime Minister really want to incentivize people putting cameras around the place, tell them put the cameras, take picture like how we take picture of the house and we submit it in the file.
Yeah.
And when we go to pay the tax, give you the tax bill Friday.
You're right.
And that makes sense.
I tell you, that has a lot of sense.
Right in front of you, we spend 5,000 on the camera. And labor, you take 10% deduction on your tax and give you tax bill Friday and we pay you tax.
Yes. I tell you, my brother. Madness going on out here.
Anyway, I'm trying to listen on the app here.
Okay, my brother. Thank you. Richard?
Well, plenty of contributions from the gentleman, but he did say it's a long time we didn't take calls, so we allow him to have a fairly long run.
Yes.
So we have to say, and always makes a lot of sense as always in a number of ways.
Yes.
But I think when you listen to people, the few people who seem to have listened to the Prime Minister the other night, I think they sum it up to the several mouthfuls of old talk.
And nothingness.
Nothing, meritless old talk. That's what it was. Several mouthfuls of that.
Yeah.
Because by and large, it was all what we heard before many times. And it's still trying the same. Like this is a proper simile. Not the Red House behaving like Mr. One Cat. But he's coming across now, and this is a simile, like a one-trick pony. Only one set of thing he could say, just a one set of thing, and that's it.
Yes.
In one sequence, that's it. And it came across when he says, how the Red House was behaving. You ever see a house behave like a cat? Just think about that.
Yeah.
That's why I had to ask earlier on how much Howard cat was behaving.
Yeah.
He's just so foolish.
Hmm.
So foolish. You were seeing the Red House jumping up and down, and I mean, come on. Just try to visualize it.
I tell you. We have a couple calls again. Good afternoon.
Take them here.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Nice to be back on the air after so long. I have made a call to you all. Yesterday afternoon, I asked my wife to stop on the road and I run into a bar to get a soft drink.
Yeah.
But when I go in there, some fellas having a drink, having a ball of a time. And I have to admit that I had to keep her waiting a while for me to hear what these fellas were saying. They were each one was trying to outdo each other in a frenzy.
Yeah.
One was saying that Central have so much of people who own excavators and backhoes and bulldozers and so that they should just forget everything about drainage division, forget everything about who is the authority, forget everything about who have to say what to do and what is the standard, and everybody in Central should just come out for 2 weeks. And anyway they see a drain, start to dig it up, deepen it, widen it, straighten it, align it. And all the businessmen should contribute financially to buy gas, to buy diesel, and to pay for the workers and things, and take care of Central. So the next one say, well, that will take care of Central, so what about the people other places? The next contender say, well, everybody living on the east-west corridor and the hills and things have so much a landslide and all the houses and things damaging. Just take NHA and put them in a box and seal them. And all the houses they have, all the people who in need of houses and all the people who houses damaging and can't get help and they can't, just stop giving out houses to new clients. Just give the people who in need of these houses, just give it to them and relocate them and things. And afterwards, you can start afresh to build houses for people.
Yeah.
So the next contender, well, I set up pretenders and contenders in the drinking room there, and each one trying to outdo each other.
Yeah.
One of them come up with a grand idea. Look, this country need to bring back Panday for a term with no election. Just put him there and give him the government and tell him you just run the government for a term and get this place back in order.
I will support that.
Right? And it was amazing the kind of things each one was saying about what to be done and how it should be done. Right? And next one was saying this country, and this one was a serious one, and he was saying that, look, this country don't need no more capital investment. But look like the fellas and them not just drinking rum, like they have some good understanding of how the country runs and whatever and so. So the next one, when his turn come to put up his part, he say the country should not invest in no capital projects. Everything to do with PSIP and budgeting and things, they should just get rid of the Ministry of Finance, get rid of Ministry of Planning and everything, right? And just use the money to maintain the existing projects and upgrade it and bring it to a class, bring it to a standard that it is now like for example, and the man threw out an example that had me days. By that time, I drink out about half of my coke. He said that the airport, for example, they don't need to rebuild no new airport. They need to renovate the airport. But he looked like he do some traveling and things. He said like the airport in Orlando, how they have nice ceilings and nice finishes on the wall and nice shopping facilities and things. Somebody need to sit down and do the architect need to sit down and do the internal redesign and refurbish and modernize the airport rather than rebuilding the airport, because the airport is a good airport.
Yeah.
But when you listen to what the fellas saying on the alcohol, It was amazing.
Yeah.
And they seem to be saying some simple thing. All I do, I sit down there and I laugh, and each point after each point. So then my wife started to tip the corner. I had to leave to go because she on the road waiting for me.
Yeah.
So I had to leave and go. But I didn't want to leave just listening to them fellas, but them fellas was having a ball of a time too.
Yeah.
And I came back in the vehicle, and from yesterday afternoon to today, I am simply dazed at the things they were saying and how relevant it was.
Yeah.
The one the one that they said that kept me thinking up to now is rather than spend the kind of money they spend in the ministries.
Yeah.
And the ministry is not getting anything. He just spent $6 billion in national security.
Yeah.
Take $2 billion, which is 2,000 million.
Yes.
And if you give each person $500,000, that is 4,000 people.
Yeah.
If they give them 250 million, that is 8,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
If they give away $125,000, that's 16,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And if they give away $17,000, not $75,000, that's 32,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So the government could set up a program taking $2 billion from national security and just give handouts and tell people, look, stop your business with crime and all this kind of thing. Use the money, help yourself. You're getting $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
You don't have a job. You have a clean record. You're not in crime. And you're getting $10,000 plus do work and complement your $10,000 and use your money to help yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of your family. Take care of your household. Stay home and do your business. Build a little shack, a little house or anything, and build a little starter home and thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you're getting an income.
Mm-hmm.
and cut out this crime thing. And I sit down and I keep thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than spending this amount of money to put this amount of people in position and pay that amount of money to keep people in their positions and give them all kind of facilitation. Mm-hmm. And what does it achieve when the day is over?
But not one thing. We're still in the same
Doesn't
place, and
achieve nothing.
it is even getting worse.
Because, but I had to leave the guys because I had to go because when you have the Wi-Fi on the other side,
Yes.
tipping horn,
Thank you, my brother. I have some other calls coming in.
Okay, right. Cheers, man.
Okay, my brother. Good afternoon. Hello?
Hello, pleasant good day to Mr. Noray, pleasant good day to Mr. Daddy Mark.
Yes, good afternoon, brother.
Well, the Prime Minister is a very important question, because the population in this country, the mass majority, they are not educated and edified about politics, right? So what the Prime Minister always does is go up on the podium, make a comment that out of the ordinary. So that will be the topic. The Prime Minister has no problem with he being the topic. And then be lost track of what is the burning issues.
Yes.
Just like the budget. When we had the budget, people had to talk about coal pot and all these things. These things are distractions. And that is his psychology on the people, because the mass majority of people, they don't even know GDP.
I know.
So what's happening, they're using this, are going up on this platform and are going to say something tonight that everybody will talk about it in the morning.
Yeah.
And then they will lose track about the burning issues that are affecting our... Look, we had a whole meeting on Friday.
Monday.
When the Prime Minister speak.
Yeah.
When he speak, he never even say condolences to the 6 children out of the 7 that died. He never mentioned about them.
Yeah.
So you can understand. And as we say, the both parties may be in the solution, but this, according to Mr. Noray, we need to get rid of this. Enough is enough.
Yes.
7 years, are we talking about Kamala Prasad-Bisesa? It's a no. That is out of the question completely. What you can do for the country to make our lives better.
That's right.
So, all you have a blessed one. Mr. Noray, you have a blessed one also.
Thank you, my brother. Good
Same
afternoon.
to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Noray, and all your Power 102 listeners.
Same to you. Good.
Yeah, a couple of issues is mind-boggling to me, and it's 2 of them I want to raise. On Monday, the shooting at Roseville.
Yes.
That was within what, a stone's throw from the Napa where the Prime Minister was meeting 50 senior officers of the police service.
Yes, the national security people.
Right. Isn't that interesting? That is happening. What and how they responded to that intelligence that would have gone back to the 50 police officers and all the people in national security. They had to be discussing that, because if they discuss that, that tells me where we are with respect to national security. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The whole of the police service, the leadership is not at that point in time on the ground managing what is required of the police service. They're in a little conference, drinking, eating lamb, jam and thing.
Yeah.
And I have not heard anything. What was the response out of that? Now, the thing is, I believe there's a subtle message coming in from the criminals, you know. The fact that they choose that place and that time in close proximity to where the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister, and they make a statement, you know.
Yes.
The police commissioner and Fitzgerald Hines, they're not targeting children. But what they did, they went in front of school with children,
yes,
and they shoot up the place, right? All around. So that is telling you how lackadaisical we are with national security and retreated. We should have cordoned off that area right away. That is, get the army, get the police on the ground, and do a sweep of it. You're bound to have pick up guns, because there's plenty was out there at that point in time. You hear one word. The Prime Minister was in a political meeting the Tuesday night. Nothing about it. All of a sudden, Wednesday, Thursday, today, it's on the newspaper. Were they trying to keep it quiet? Think about it. If somebody buzzed the mark on a video and it blew up in the face,
yes,
so the news media and all. This happened 2 o'clock on a Monday, you know.
Yeah.
That should have hit the papers. Monday, Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's only late on Tuesday evening you had some TV hosts and call-in programs showing it.
Yes.
So what they're telling me, the criminal knew what was happening, and I suspect senior people might have passed on the information for them. I'm not saying it happened, but that is from looking outside my cardboard box.
Yes.
Now, the other thing I want to talk about, the Prime Minister on the platform said he distanced himself from the Nelson Gate business, right?
Yes.
Okay. Reflect on that. Reflect on the AG that went to Miami on our affidavits and tell untruths, right? So that is one AG telling untruths.
Yeah.
Now another AG went to the police and he said all 5 of them, all 6 of them, no, the Prime Minister, Fitzy, Stuart Young, the current AG. So what you're telling me, this AG and all lying with a statement to the police, so what is a trend now?
It's a trend.
You understand? I'm looking at it totally different. And the third issue now, the country is really frightening what is happening. And you see that judge who rescinded his first order? I'm not too sure why he did it. If he heard and he corrected.
Yeah. I expected that to know, Father. Father, I told Farid on yesterday, I said, I expected that to happen.
All right. And listen, we are going with it. You remember? An independent senator was getting WhatsApp messages from judges. That hasn't been resolved yet. Eh? The president will do nothing. The chief justice will do nothing. Just by chance, is this man WhatsApp phone available for people to call him? I'm just talking out aloud because we're in a mess.
In a real mess.
You understand the 3 points, some critical thing. Nobody is focusing on those things, and again, all the media, everything, and then asking the Prime Minister and all of this to account. They're supposed to be pounding the pavement. Judge, what was this? Why was it? Did you give out your WhatsApp thing? Did somebody call you, a high official? Did the judiciary and your peers put pressure on you? But if he did deliberately, well, not deliberately, made an error and he corrected, I have no problem with it. But I will be very annoyed if peer pressure was put on him, or some independent person might have his WhatsApp number and say, hey, what's going on, partner? Why are you doing that to me?
Yeah, where's your scene, boy?
Correct. I hope I throw some things out in the public this for them
Of course. All what you said there, I've been thinking about them too. But when you're small, you have to stay quiet.
No. You're a thing, but I could say that because I am a citizen of this country and I'm frightened at what I'm seeing. I
Exactly.
mean, if the whole police service was in a function and they shoot up nearby the school.
Yeah, it wasn't far at all.
The whole police service was decapitated for one day. Reflect back on what happened in 1990. Think about it. Your whole leadership in one place.
Yeah.
And something could have happened somewhere else.
Yes.
And you're stranded, no coordination, nothing. If I was inside, what I would have done? I would have tell all them senior officers, go up there. 50 earlier, yeah?
Yes.
Go up there and let me cordon off here. Let me show them who's man.
Yes.
Who
run things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to lock up that day. We go say, Prime Minister, hold on. We go to Ham and Jam and Lamb with you a later time.
Yes.
But we have something to fix in this country now.
Yes.
And we can walk in distance.
Yes.
That leadership. I'm gone.
Thank you, my brother. You too. Richard. A lot of things on
when we study what we saw in that school the other day, children on the ground, gunshots ringing out. As I started the show by saying, they visited the site and they said the school is open back up.
Yeah.
Nothing, no expression about how they intend to solve the problem. Nothing about how, so what are they going to do? This going to continue like this until it flares up again.
Yeah.
And now they're frustrating as though the 500 and something murders we have so far, it's just criminals doing it and so on. What we elected a government to do? Not to come up with strategies tied into policies to solve these problems.
I tell you.
That's what we elected them to do. So you can go about your business as a law-abiding citizen and feel them.
Yeah.
Now, we talk about these wicked people, these criminals, that killed 509 of what he said the other night.
Yeah.
As though he's standing where we are and we discussing a problem that we're observing when his job is to prevent us from going through that.
I tell you.
And he believes pretending he's standing by us and observing the problem as we are, that we will see him as one of us, and it's a problem we all have to address. It's madness. Clearly, these sorts of behaviors, they are very much concerning, and the one takeaway you can extract from it among many other takeaways, the one that I believe could be established as a general commonality, is that we have the wrong person leading us at this time. I mean, people could say what they want, the facts are there.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be burning the midnight oil to come up with solutions. We shouldn't be in 2022 after almost $500 billion spent talking about heading to almost 550 plus million, because that was the trajectory people say. We shouldn't be talking that. This is a shameful thing. And it is even more shameful when you're not in office to say who was there if they couldn't deal with it. They should call an election. Or when you're there, well, you change the standard. And nothing to do with you. All countries have bad parenting. We said that before on criminal activity. How come they manage it? He said last night before I said on the platform, America always had a gun problem. Remember?
Yeah.
At every election, that's the most important thing to the Americans. Their law insists that their people should be armed. That's their law.
Yeah.
You have 3, 4, 5 guns in their house to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Then you say Japan. How that don't happen in Japan? Japan don't have a law. I said that this guy know what he's saying. He just made a comparison against himself.
Yeah.
We don't have America's law. We don't have people armed to the teeth. Yes. So we're like Japan. What is our excuse? Japan don't have American law, but they don't have a criminal problem as we do. Right? So in other words, Japan, they have no law supporting that they should have a gun, but their country under control.
Yeah.
We have no law saying that we should have a gun, but our country out of control.
So
So
much.
who's the problem? Him again. Why you don't tell us you're going to copy the leadership of Japan and you're going to bring it here with the hope of solving our problem as Japan has solved theirs and maintained it that way? So apparently he confessed the other night he's the wrong guy for the job in many different ways. And we must continue to analyze these questions, these expressions, and share it with the listening public so that they can understand. It's not good enough to continue to come to the people identifying problems, full stop. The problems identifying are the same problems you're supposed to solve.
I don't know. I really don't know what's happening. Well, I know what's happening, so I know it's just a power struggle to stay in power, to control wealth, and to live large, while the people on the ground are a problem. I mean, listen to what the guy about 3 calls away said. One time I was saying that. I say if Trinidad budget, that time it wasn't close to $500 billion. Let's say they're going to read out a budget of $68-70 billion. I say, wait now. Trinidad has 1 point something million, of which might be about 700,000 people who will be looking forward to have disposable income and all this kind of thing. The rest will be serious senior citizens, babies, and little children who would not have the need to be spending any kind of money to that extent. I was saying, if they give all families $1 million, just go around and get, just so they find you when they want you to vote, they should find you and say, look, this family, you hold $1 million, $1 million, $1 million. That will be 1 point something million dollars that you're giving to the 700, let's say 700,000 people. So when you check that up, I mean, you can take the rest if you ask me. If you like to thief money and corrupt and hide money and turn billionaire, just give everybody $1 million. They wouldn't have no crime for a while. Only if people get greedy and want to thief somebody else's million. But when you have $1 million in your pocket, you didn't tell anybody next matter. You have $1 million. You even dream about having that and you have that. And they can take the rest. I was saying that. And I didn't want to say it on the radio. But as my friend said that a while ago, if you give everybody like 10,000 a month and say, listen, you're going in these areas where the crime is extended to that kind of level, and you say, listen, you're giving it 10,000 a month, you put on the gun or bring in your gun, behave yourself, you show off 10,000 a month for a while, settle yourself. The crime issue will die off. In other words, when you put it in serious talk now, if you facilitate and make available what is the word? Options for people to decide on whether you're going to do bad or you're going to do good. It could have a big difference in crime. You hear what Diane Haddad said? Free up everybody. And the next day, I'm not giving them no time, I freed up everybody today. And they see from midnight to night, anybody get caught in anything, no if buts or maybes. Straight to whatever kind of penitentiary or penal punishment or whatever. Those are options that people at the ground have. I mean, the Minister of National Security, listening to him is like taking purge. I listen to these people and say, them for real, boy. I mean, what the guy just spoke about. These heads of the national security apparatus in Trinidad are in one place. In Napa right there. And right in St. Babs, if you take binoculars, you can see everything that's going on in St. Babs from there. These people terrorize the children. You mean that nobody knew until it hit the social media and went viral? How come? How? That's close to police headquarters or kind of thing when they check it out in the Trinidad. I don't know, America, everything close. How come these guys could be shooting till it went on social media, the poor children traumatized? That teacher, they should give her the ORT. She should get ORT without even thinking. That woman will brave.
Yeah.
Try and bring these children into a calm mode and to take them down from scaring them and you know, they should give her the order of Trinidad and Tobago, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Good afternoon. We have another call coming in. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon, Mr.
Hey, it's
Noray.
been a while.
Yes, sir.
Good
Yes,
afternoon.
sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Noray. Mr. Noray, how you doing, sir? Reasonably well?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Mark, how you doing, sir?
I'm struggling, rolling with the punches.
I see. Hey, Mr. Mark, how those wonderful young gentlemen doing?
Well, they're doing fine. I make sure of that. Their parents, my daughter and her fiance, they don't play.
Okay, very good.
It's a threesome that is intended. I intended on making these youths stay on the positive side of things.
Mr. Mark, as long as the good Lord have you around, make sure them guys on the street and narrow path.
Exactly.
Because you see the kind of influence that have out there. Mr. Noray, how you doing, sir? Mr. Noray?
No, I have to say, I had better days, and I've seen better expressions on the platform before, but what we are hearing is a bit concerning. It's not something to be too happy about. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Noray.
Actually, that would impact on how I feel. So not as good as I would like.
What is going on with all these shooting and all kind of things? What is going on with all these things, sir?
I don't think you expect Mr. Noray to answer that.
But I mean, it's kind of like real frightening. You can't go nowhere, and you know what I mean, because things can happen anyway. You're afraid to go anywhere because these guys shoot it anyway, you know.
Yes.
Anywhere they shoot it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to be involved in anything to get caught up in the crossfire. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Noray?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I talk to you.
I agree with you. I'm in agreement with you.
I talk to you guys at a limit, man. Mr. Noray, how the studies going, sir?
Everything is all right. Everything is all right.
All right, Mr. Noray, and are you guys always locked on listening, man? But I was kind of busy lately. But you guys take care, man, and be safe.
Yes, we will.
Mr. Mark, you've tried to reach him, so I know a lot of
yes, a lot. It's difficult traversing the highway these days.
Yeah, Mr. Mark, I know on that run you got to make it every day, man. You be careful on the road and reach home safer.
Yes, I will. Thank you, my brother.
All right, brother.
Yes. You know, I've been listening to part of the Prime Minister's speech where he said, to alleviate the crime situation, we're going to put out some 2,500 new CCTV cameras and stuff. Well, since Chugum, there has been a lot of CCTV cameras all over the nation, you know, 75% of which are not functional. So we are going to replace them with brand new ones. Is there a system that will make them functional and keep them functional? Is there a networking system that will bring the intelligence of these same photo or what they call them, you know, to the police so that things can happen instantly? I mean, when you go back to that same instance with the children shooting up the place, I mean, a cell phone call could happen in seconds. You could alert your troops, your members of the police service or anything in an instant. Listen, there's a shooting up by Rose Hill. Them fellas, I mean, they have weapons. You could call it a mass destruction with Trinidad is concerned because they shoot up the place like they didn't care. So in a flash, you could have cordoned off the area, as the guy said. You know, it took days after for it to make a big, big noise in the press and on social media, and everybody saying, Lord, look what the place coming to. And, the people who are in charge of that, they are very safe, partner. They have security to the max. They come on the podium, they say something. I don't know if they are afraid also. I've been listening to the news this morning, and there were a lot of murders between yesterday evening and this morning,
I tell you.
So it seems as though they're just talking and people just having a time. And as the guy now said, you're not safe anywhere. Sometimes traversing the roadways and things, sometimes I too it's very balmy, you know. I don't know. I say, Lord have mercy. I pray and ask God, take me home safely, get me to work safely, take me home safely. I'm into the culture thing big times. I mean, give me the opportunity. I play total local music to promote, not that I don't like other music, but I am willing to promote music, Trinidad and Tobago music to the world. I think it's time we win Grammys and all of that. Kes is now being considered for Grammys, so I am happy and all that. But on the other hand, I'm very concerned about what's going on. I have two little boys, their grandchildren, and I watch them sometimes. I wonder, my God, what will life be with in their world? One is 8 years old, the other one is 3. I am wondering what will happen when that one reaches, let's say, 10, and the other one reaches like 5 or 6. It's happening so rapidly, and nothing seems to be being put in place. Okay, forget the big people. Nothing is being put in place to secure these young ones. When you hear what's happening within the education system, there are schools that people are crying out to be open. There are schools that are being people are asking for remedial restructural works and all kind of thing, and you're not seeing anything happening. You know, it's just a lot of hullabaloo. And according to the guy who's called earlier on, that the people, I wouldn't say they're ignorant, Trinity people are brilliant, but there's a kind of standpipe fish market kind of politics that they like. When they hear that, they are clean. They're not concerned about issues. They're not concerned about what is going to take us forward in a big way. And the heads didn't know that. So they come and they say stupidness, and everybody go and running with that. You know, 2 different people sent me postings on my phone of that story Skippy used to tell us about all the time. You know, it's something like the Animal Farm. I can't remember the name of it. Sometimes when I get, so balmy sometimes, I forget sometimes. But the plantation thing, you know what I mean? It seems as though we are being taken straight back to that. Because if these people who are running things are telling us to go back, they go back to cold pot, go back to bicycle, forget macaroni pie and ham and them kind of thing, I can't expect you to be enjoying that to the max. I put you there. The taxpayer is the employer, but it's a different ball game now. And the systems that are being put in place is to make sure that they stay in power. I said yesterday to Fareed that it's a kind of thing we don't know. Donald Trump wants to do this, he wants to stay in power. The guy from Brazil, he wants to do this, he wants to stay in power. Vladimir Putin is doing this, he wants to stay in power. A kind of strongman, rude boy ruling thing going on now. So anytime you're not supporting that or within the clique that has this kind of system or these systems operating across the globe, man, you're looking like a thorn in the, and they don't want to hear about them things. They're not interested in those things. Roads are bad. They said they have formed a paving company. They didn't say where it is physically, who's going to be running it. They haven't said anything. And the roads are really terrible. It's getting worse with all the flooding and all of this thing. It's worse than ever. Until I tried going to Orpush today, I was wondering if I am going to get to my destination with the state of roads there. And I've seen the residents on television complaining about those roadways. Don't talk about that on my side. Nobody's taking on these things. And I heard the finance minister say we're in a very good place these days. We're in a better place these days financially. And they're going to give money to schools now for refurbishing and stuff. Anyway, one of my friends is back with us. Good afternoon again, brother.
Yes, Mr. Mark. Yes, the boss say the school's falling apart and dilapidated and again money to refurbish it and fix it and then tell the man we only build one school in 7 years. Tell the man that finish a carcass of a school.
Yes.
That was built with a frame. One school in 7 years, but we built everything the Queen Leaf for we. Finish everything the Queen Leaf for we. White Hall, we finished that.
Yeah.
We finished Tormayer's Castle. We fixed up Millfleur.
Yeah.
We built a new PM residence in Tobago for some reason, I don't know why. You believe places like St. Kitts and Nevis and Bahamas, all them island have a PM residence there? I don't know, because we have how much, was it length of time and a flight from Trinidad and Tobago? 10 minutes?
What that?
Yeah.
As soon as you go up, they say, well, get ready to land.
You telling me you're taking what? Half an hour from point A to point B?
I tell it about 2 hours from Labrador to San Fernando in the morning. I'm not exaggerating, you know.
I know, because we out here can comprehend what you're talking about.
I tell you, brother.
You can comprehend that very well. You understand? And how much of them, and we refurbish the library to put the PNM memorabilia inside it for the tune of 15 million during the pandemic and outside the pandemic.
I tell you, brother. I don't know.
Easy. When anybody who wants to do something, they will get it done.
Yes.
If you don't want to do something, you don't do it. That is all.
I tell you.
I know before the pandemic, the Prime Minister said he allocating 800 million to finish some of the schools. Pandemic come and go, he must say, well, he saved me with the 800, the same way he saved me before.
Yeah.
You understand? He saved me and he saved you and Dr. Noray and everybody calling the station because we are alive because of the Prime Minister. Not God. Not the God with the spirit too in the night or in the morning. I say, thank God for giving my eyes this morning to open, and thank God for I reach home safe. You understand? You have to thank the Prime Minister.
I tell you, that's what it looks like now.
Yeah, it looks like to me. People, the individuals who in the cabinet who speaking all that go bar, right? And the Prime Minister will come and say microphone malfunction after that. Because they feel at liberty and they feel justified and they know that nothing will happen to them and they can say more nonsense.
That's right.
A man could tell me we had to stop going cinema 3 times for the week. Who would just go cinema, friend?
I telling you.
Yeah, you smart TV, yeah, Android TV, you download the apps.
Yeah, Netflix.
And the TV getting bigger and bigger. I'm looking for Christmas special and all kind of thing. Nobody don't go TV against Cineplex is an ancient thing.
Yeah.
That'll close down this now. That'll come like dust.
I tell you.
Floating in the wind.
It's true.
He believe but how somebody could say that and we are stop eating ham every
stop eating ham and macaroni pie and thing.
No, the man say we eat that every week and every month and all kind of thing.
Yes, don't eat that again.
No, but how he could conceptualize that I was going to the supermarket every month and buy ham? Crazy, yeah?
You could understand that?
I will be like a boss.
Yeah.
Daddy, man?
Yes, Richard.
Yeah, after
okay, my brother.
You going?
Yes.
Yes,
Richard. Well, my friend, we got to pull the curtains down. We have reached that time.
Well, you see how important the callings are?
Yes, of course.
Tell the boss behind the desk, they tell them that.
Yes.
We are calling once a week, we appreciate it. Everybody who calling is people, voices they know.
That's right.
We're waiting for the calling.
Yes, good. Will do.
Right, we can talk again. You have a safe journey home as usual.
Yes, my brother. Thanks a lot. Well, that's it for today, folks, for the talk segment. I'm going to still be with you a little bit. So we got news coming up. And of course, just to remind you that Sexplosion is on tomorrow.
Power 102 Digital. Streaming 24/7 on power102fm.com and on the Power 102 Digital app. Power 102 Digital.
Until the